Hey everyone, it's Jen with Timeline Tarot. This is your sneak peek for 2026. Each of the zodiac signs will have their own video. I've set the intentions to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. So I do encourage you to view all four of them. If you're not sure what your placements are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. I will be doing more in-depth quarterly readings for members of the Time Travelers program. And if you don't know what that is or you'd like to become a member, you can also find more information about that in the description box. Remember, these are general collective readings, not individualized nor personalized to you. Messages may come through today that don't fully resonate, and if that happens, it's okay. It just means that one message is meant for someone else. So take what fits, how it fits, leave what doesn't, and be sure to check out your other placements. With all of that said, let's begin. Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Let's take a look now at your overall energy, your theme here, if you will, for 2026 for the Sagittarius collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What is the overall energy or theme here for the calendar year of 2026 for the Sagittarius collective? Let's get one more shuffle here for you. Thank you. You have To Be Fair. This is card number 38. At the bottom of the deck, you have Here and Now. Card number 32, 3 plus 2 is 5. Fives are all about change. You seem to be right in the middle this year between your past and your future. Could also be trying to reconcile here something within yourself. Like, how did I get here and where do I want to go? Okay, let's look at love and romance now for the Sagittarius collective. Let's get a better shuffle there for you. For calendar year 2026. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. One more shuffle here. Thank you. In love and romance, you have growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. And at the bottom of the deck, you have regret. I know that I cannot change the past. Interesting, we have that word past here showing up twice for you. And right behind that, we have all that glitters is not gold. So maybe this is a year where you are moving on from a situation, environment, connection, idea, pattern, a habit here where you're deciding it's part of my past. It wasn't everything that I thought it would be. It's time to move on from it. I've grown a lot, right? To be fair to myself, I need to move on from whomever or whatever this is. Let's look at career and finance now for the Sagittarius collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements for the calendar year of 2026. What is the overall energy for career and finance? One more shuffle here. Thank you. You have feather, abundance, easy money, divine intervention, career, light work, air-related, air-related or travel. And at the bottom of the deck, we have cutlery, business tools, needing more money, living well. Career aspects, food related. I keep saying fool. I feel like you're on the precipice of a new beginning. So if I keep saying fool, I apologize. Food related, sole provider, more work. I wonder if some of you are doing work, though, this year. You know, soul is S-O-L-E on the card, but I'm wondering if for someone watching, it's actually S-O-U-L. Like you'll become a sole provider, not just for yourself independently, but like doing something here this year that actually nurtures and feeds your soul. Okay, that's pretty deep. Let's see where we go with this now using tarot. Clarify this here, please, for the Sagittarius collective. We are clarifying To Be Fair, card number 38. I also notice in this card, there's like a liftoff, and she doesn't look like a liftoff. It's actually a woman. You could be a masculine. I don't read body parts. But this individual is sort of like Libra energy, like holding the scales of justice. I don't know if you can actually see it in that card. But holding the scales of justice, trying to keep something balanced, trying to keep something fair. But at first glance, far away, it actually looks like a rocket lifting off. It's just the way her dress or her gown, the way it's designed on the card. And on her head, very delicately balancing is an owl. And I think for some of you, this is a year that you are lifting off. And same thing, look at the here and now. There's like your past and then your future, and it's like lift off, like I'm taking off this year. Both cards. And that egg card, you know, when we think about the egg, this is something new, right? This is something in the infantile stage. This is something that you are birthing, bringing to life. And you're, again, on top of the world, that owl on top of the head. I don't know. I think it's going to be a huge transformative year here for the Sagittarius collective. So let's get back to clarifying, okay? We're clarifying, to be fair, card number 38 with the underlining energy of here and now, card number 32. Growth, I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Regret, I know that I cannot change the past. Feather, abundance, easy money, divine intervention. And cutlery, business tools, needing more money and living well. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And we have the Sun card. We have the Hanged Man, we have the Five of Wands, and we have the King of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. Oh, interesting. I never put cards in the reverse, but this one is, and so I'm going to take it. It actually is the Two of Wands, and it's in the reverse, and then we have the Two of Cups, and that leaves the Devil, Six of Pentacles, and the Fool. I kept saying the Fool instead of food, and there's the Fool. I think you're overcoming something that was quite toxic in your life. And it could be a situation, environment, connection. Could be, again, a thought process, a pattern, a habit, an addiction. I think you're overcoming something, and it frees up a new connection now to come into your life. And this is a connection. You will not be at a decision point when this person comes in, because the Two of Wands is in the reverse. You will instinctually know that's the person you want to connect with. So we're going to find out more about who that is. But right now, to be fair, and the here and now. Three of Swords and the Hanged Man. For some of you, as of the time of this reading, right, in the here and now, you've been holding on to pain. Pain that someone along the way caused you. Or pain that perhaps you caused yourself through maybe having too high expectations. And sometimes expectations themselves do cause the Three of Swords, because we expect the situation, environment, or connection to be better. And we set those expectations because we see the potential of who or what that could be. And they don't live up to that potential. And therefore, they break our expectation. And that can leave us in heartache. But sometimes, not blaming you as the victim, sometimes we create that Three of Swords because, again, we set these unrealistic expectations, right? We think someone will be fair. We think the job will treat us fairly, or the friend or the lover or the family member will treat us fairly, but they don't. And sometimes, so that's what I mean by we participate in the Three of Swords. Not saying they were right to do this to you, but sometimes we facilitate it in some way because we don't want to see it, or we expect them to be better. Or again, we set unrealistic expectations for people. So I think at the time of this reading, there is some lingering Three of Swords, heartbreak, sorrow, feeling in the Sagittarius collective. However, I think you're about to launch away from whomever or whatever this is, or fully heal this heartbreak and be able to move on. I don't see this lingering in your energy, not with that Sun to the King of Wands. I know that that's the money column, but that's way too positive. That Sun card is going to trickle into everything else, especially with the Five of Wands to the Wheel of Fortune, like overcoming relationship obstacles as well. So let's see more about that Three of Swords. Tell me about that Three of Swords. This is your overall energy now for 2026. The Three of Swords. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Three of Swords. The Celestial Weaver. I love it. Your deck is the only deck that has that card, as well as the Phoenix card. You have the Knight of Pentacles. And you have the Six of Swords. Thank God. So I feel, and I'm not telling you that from here on out. Oh, I was going to say you're moving on from something toxic. And I look at the bottom of the deck, and the Devil is there to the Lovers, which is so interesting because not in your deck. In your deck, it's just one person here kind of standing up to the behemoth, right? Standing up to the monster here, standing up to the devil. But typically what we see in that Lover's card to the Devil's card is the same couple. So it's like, and the Devil card is card 15, 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 in the major arcana is the Lovers. So I feel like you are disconnecting from something to do with a partnership. Now that could be a toxic partnership or a toxic codependency in general that you've had in respect to partnerships. These are collective general readings, so take them how they resonate to you. But in the year of 2026, in regards to partnerships, you are detaching from toxicity in regards to your partnerships, whether that is the actual person themselves or from the toxic need to be codependent on someone else for happiness or for maybe your like financial care. I just see you moving on from this. And again, it could be something within you like a trait or an actual person. Yeah, this is the year where you are cleanly breaking off. The Celestial Weaver card talks about someone who's now very involved in creating a new life for themselves. They're not leaving it up to chance. They're weaving, right? They are the weaver. They're weaving with the celestial bodies. They're weaving with the universe. This next chapter, it is practical. It is a long-term plan. And that Knight of Pentacles, it's not a wishy-washy energy. And then the Six of Swords, it's like, and then you're in motion. Then you're moving forward. So I can see you this year creating a plan, something that is solid, that says this is where I want to be at this point in time in my future. I'm going to co-create with the divine. I've learned some valuable lessons from the Three of Swords. I'm going to take the lessons, but I'm leaving behind the situation, environment, or connection that created it. And then that Six of Swords, it's like you are sailing sailing away. Tell me about the Hanged Man energy. I think you're seeing the Three of Swords from a new perspective. Like maybe I wouldn't be who I am today had I not gone through that or dealt with that person. Maybe now you have a more realistic view when it comes to expectations. Maybe you won't set high expectations for people anymore. Maybe you won't ignore the red flags anymore. I notice on the Here and Now card, the individual has a red flag here that they're holding. So maybe for some of you, and right behind that we had all that glitters, you know, isn't gold. So maybe for some of you, it's like, I learned a lot that moving forward, I will not ignore the red flags anymore. I won't try to make a pretty scarf out of them. Tell me more about that Hanged Man energy. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Hanged Man energy, clarified by the Ten of Cups. This is you going within during the course of 2026. Some of you are probably already doing this now. What does ultimate emotional fulfillment look like? What does it feel like? What should it look like? What should it feel like? The Moon card. It's very emotional. And the Empress. Wow. I don't know who or what, you know, what you went through back there. And some of you are still going through it at the start of this year. And I don't think you're going to realize until you're fully out of it. Meaning you have fully moved on in that Six of Swords, that you have fully moved on from whomever or whatever this is. Or again, you've just processed the ending of something or the heartache that came with a prior ending. But you're going to be so empowered as the year progresses. You're not going to recognize yourself this time next year. I know that this is a yearly read for 2026, but if we're looking into 2027, and I'm doing this reading in February, I'm sorry it's late. I've had a lot going on here at the house with the cold temperatures, but I don't think you're going to recognize yourself. And I find it very interesting. We have in the Moon card, we have an individual here with a wolf, a dog, very similar to the Fool card. And then we have this other individual back here. I do think you're leaving someone behind. I do think you're leaving someone behind. Again, it could be a boss, a friend, a family member, a lover. This could signify the community. It's possible some of you are thinking of relocating, and that's something that a plan you put into motion and you actually do in 2026, or you save a lot of money, and that's why you're able to move on in 2027, like to relocate. But you're leaving something or someone behind here. And for some of you, they don't know it yet. For others of you, they know. They can see you, even through the midst of the moonlight. Even though it's not well illuminated, like when the sun is out during the day, they can still see that you're heading off towards the Fool's journey. And they're all the way back here. If you are leaving an actual person behind, or you have left an actual person behind, I do think that they will have some remorse or regret. And that's because you leaving them behind turns you into the Empress, whether you're masculine or feminine. And again, the Empress is the birthing of something new. And we see you here sitting on this egg like you're just waiting for it to hatch. So your overall theme for 2026, processing loss, processing heartache, moving on from it, moving into clearer waters. Interesting how the camera just shook. There's no reason for it to shake. It's on a stand. It's not attached to the table. I don't know if the camera caught that. I saw it waffle or wobble there. Okay, anyway, interesting. So maybe for some of you, you weren't quite sure at some point in time if you were ever going to leave this person, place, or thing, right? And I think for most of you, it's a person. I think you were waffling on it there, kind of like what the camera did. And then it's like 2026 is the go time. It's like the moment when you do it. They're going to see you evolve and grow. There is some remorse and regret. But you would have never been able to step into the Empress energy and to birth this new chapter of your life had you stayed behind with that job or that community, or like I said, tied to that family member, that friend, or that lover. And for those of you where it's a habit or trait that you're giving up or you're healing within yourself, you would have never stepped into the Empress role had you continued to engage in that habit or in that behavior. So talk about growth, huge growth here across the board for you, just individually as a person. Now let's look at love and romance. We have regret and we have growth. I think this is tied to this person who you are leaving behind. I think you do have some regret. But again, I think they feel regret when you move on as well. Wheel of Fortune. Why is the Wheel of Fortune here? It's like 2026 is the time to do this. Also, I notice, again, another person about to walk through the doorway. It's like you're leaving one doorway and walking into another, right? In the Moon card, you've left behind this doorway. And it was a comfort zone within this mountain that you existed in for quite some time. But now you're out on the Fool's journey. You're out in the dark. You're not quite sure where you're headed. And then before you know it, you're like, oh my God, there's the doorway. There's the out. So very specific message. I almost feel like I'm doing a personal message. So don't take this one part of the message if it isn't for you. If you feel like you've been trapped in a relationship and you couldn't see your way out of it, 2026, there will be an opportunity that will help you get out of it, whether it's financial or someone else coming onto your path to help you get away from this person. It's probably for one of you watching, so don't take it if it's not yours. Let's get back now to the general message here for all of you. Wheel of Fortune. Tell me why the Wheel of Fortune is here. It is spinning. This is the time for you to do this. We have the Nine of Wands. I think you're, when it comes to love, this particular person, I think you're putting up a wall. Queen of Swords. I do think that you are, I hate using the term cutting because it sounds so cold, but I do think you're extricating yourself. Let's put it that way. I think you are extricating yourself from a connection that wasn't going anywhere. And then you have the Queen of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Wands. I do think that you are moving forward in 2026. I think you're moving away. And again, I don't know if this is a friend, a family member, a lover, or a boss. I just see you getting out of a toxic situation, a toxic relationship, and really stepping into your power and birthing an entire new life or chapter here for yourself. In respect to love, the Nine of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. This is clarifying the Wheel of Fortune. If you're a single, I was almost going to say Scorpio. How bizarre is that? Maybe I'm speaking to someone who has a high Scorpio placement, or you're leaving behind a Scorpio. Only take that if that fits. If you're a single Scorpio, I think you have a new soulmate here on your path this week, like a romantic partner, okay? There's something here about not allowing the past hurt from this other person to block you from opening up your heart, because I see that Nine of Wands. It's like there's like a protective wall here. And then that Queen of Swords is also protecting the love or the emotions there, the softness of the Queen of Cups. We have two, I don't want to call them abrasive, but very guarded energy. So if you are a single Sagittarius, I do think you have a new love partner being put on your path. Try not to fall into the place where you are so guarded, because I never want to feel that Three of Swords again, or I never want to be betrayed again, that you don't allow this new partnership to grow. Okay, I don't think you should hold against the new person what the past person did. So I would use this year to really cycle through these feelings and process these feelings, because you do have someone new here on your path. Let's find out more about them, because I see that Five of Wands here. So there's conflict, or there will be internal conflict for you. And I believe it's in respect to that new partnership. Tell me more about the Five of Wands here. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Five of Wands is clarified by the Three of Pentacles, the Page of Cups. Yeah, you have someone new here. And the Knight of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Pentacles. I'm going to read this two different ways, okay? I'll read this two different ways. If you are a single Sagittarius, or you anticipate becoming single at some point this year, because you already know at the time of this reading, in the here and now, that you are moving on from someone that you deem to be toxic or has stifled your growth in some way, and you are already making preparations, financial, emotional, psychological, energetically speaking, to move on from this person. With that Moon card, I can see you like walking away from them. If that's your message, you have someone new here on your path. And whether you're fully single now, like I said, or you just anticipate being single this year, when this person comes in, you might be quick to judge them based upon that past person or that past experience. And there's just something here about you taking it slow. This is going to be a very passionate connection for you. But Three of Pentacles to the Page of Cups, it's like, no one's telling you to open up your heart immediately. You don't have to be the Queen or King of Cups and make yourself completely emotionally vulnerable to this person. Because I can see here that you're guarded because of what this past person did, or soon-to-be past person did to you. But I think with that Three of Pentacles to the Page of Cups, if you can just work on opening up your heart just a little bit, I think you're going to feel a rush of excitement and intimacy that you probably have not felt in quite some time because of whatever this person did to you. So I do think you have a new person here on your path. You could be meeting them through work, through your community, something here that you're doing. The Eight of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the King of Cups to the King of Cups. This is your match. King to the Queen of Cups. This is your emotional match here. This is lovely. This is someone who's wise. They could be a little bit older than you. By a little bit, I mean just by a couple of years. This is someone who has done a lot of work on themselves, and this person is single. Okay, let me just verify that for you. Seven of Pentacles to the Magician, to the Nine of Cups. This person has been single for a minute. So this is not someone who's entangled or who's going to pull you into a third-party situation or anything like that. This is someone who's single, and this is someone who is also cautiously optimistic about opening up their heart. So again, I don't think you have to rush into the connection, because they're not doing it either. Their King of Cups is buried a couple cards deep there, and you're here very much protecting your emotional space. The Queen of Swords is guarding the Queen of Cups. Like, don't F with my heart. Like, I'm not going to feel that again. But I think with Three of Pentacles to the Page of Cups, if you can just allow yourself to relax and be a little bit vulnerable with this person, I think you're going to really enjoy this relationship. I think this person is your emotional equal, okay? For those of you where you currently are in a connection, the connection has had its ups and downs. You've grown a lot. Your person has grown a lot. There could be an expression here of regret between you and them. This is not someone you are in separation with. I don't have any cards here or any energies here indicating separation. But you're currently in a connection, and maybe there's just a little discord there with that Five of Wands, or you're not fully on the same page. There is something here about the two of you expressing regret to one another and intensifying the connection. But even with that message, it's just telling you to take it slow. Okay, I don't think this is someone that like betrayed you in the past or cheated on you or anything like that. I'm seeing a couple here who has had some difficulties, minor difficulties. Five of Wands. We're not talking Seven of Swords, Three of Swords, Ten of Swords stuff. This is minor, minor issues here. And I think that if these are minor issues, I think you can work them out with a little love and a little patience and a little understanding. Again, I don't feel like it's whomever you went through that with. I'm going to revisit love for you in a second. Let's look at money. Oh, interesting how I just turned your card like upside down, like facing me. So your money's going to change this year, or the way you make money is going to change this year. Tell me about that Sun card here. Tell me more about the Sun card here. Some of you are going to pursue an interest that you wanted to do as a child. And I say that because in the Sun card, there's an individual here like talking to a child. I have a group of you here where there's something you have longed to do since your childhood and you never did it. Whatever it is to you. Could be painting, could be food related. Maybe you've always wanted to open up your own bakery, you know. It's just, there was like a dream here within you as a child. When I grow up one day, I'm going to do blank. You never did blank. And this year, you might actually flip the script and decide to do blank. Remember how I just did those cards upside down. So for some of you, you may decide that dream that I always had, that I always wanted to do and pursue in terms of career and finance, this is the year I'm going to do it. I'm going to be motivated to do it. Tell me more about the Sun card here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Money looks really good for you this year. Nine of Cups. The Six of Cups, again, going back to that childhood thing, and the Four of Cups. I feel like that's just such a super specific message. There's something here that you've wanted to do since a child. Become a veterinarian, a writer. I don't know. I see with that feather, right? We usually see like the feather, like a quill pen. So there's something here, again, could be in the food industry. It could be in regards to travel. We have air travel here as well. There's just something here that you've always wanted to do as a child in terms of making money, like in terms of a profession. And I think that this is the year that you decide to do it or learn it or revisit it. And that's beautiful. And Eight of Wands, once you get the idea to revisit whatever this is, or you know what, I put that on the back burner, I always wanted to do blank, I think you end up doing it. 10 of Wands to the 8 of Wands. Maybe back then it was unrealistic. Maybe back then you didn't have the time. Maybe back then you were raising children. Maybe back then life was just too heavy. But life has lightened up, or will be lightening up this year. We're going from 10 of Wands to the 8 of Wands. And so you may feel energetically, I can now do that. I can now take that course, that class, or launch that business, or do something new here with my life. Tell me about the King of Wands. I like this. I mean, financially speaking, this is someone who thinks outside of the box. This is someone who's energetic, entrepreneurial in nature. Could be thinking about launching your own business as well. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The King of Wands clarified by the Six of Wands. The World card and the Seven of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, we have Nine of Pentacles. Your finances look fantastic this year. I'm not just blowing smoke up your butt. I'm not one of those readers. If you've seen my readings before, it's a very specific message. If there's something that you've been wanting to do for quite some time, especially for those of you where this goes back to childhood, this is the year for you to do it. Now, you might be watching a video and saying, okay, Jen, I've always wanted to be a veterinarian, but I'm at a stage in my life where it's not practical to go back to school and become a veterinarian. Okay, can you volunteer at an adoption shelter? Can you volunteer at a veterinary clinic? There's something like that that you're going to revisit from childhood. And even now as an adult, you say, well, it's not practical to do that. I think it is practical. I think it opens up an opportunity that you did not see coming. So you end up volunteering somewhere. It's just an example I'm being given. And you say, okay, well, I'm too old to go back to school to learn how to do this, but I'm going to volunteer at a farm, or volunteer working with horses at a stable, or something like that. You end up receiving a job opportunity through it. So it comes from revisiting something in your past. Again, maybe you want to be a musician and you're like, you know what, I just feel like I'm too old to get back into the game. Okay, maybe you end up volunteering somewhere to help maybe with the, I don't know, the local band musical acts or something like that, or their plays. There's a position that is offered to you. For others of you, you will be revisiting something from your past and you're going to decide this is the year you want to move forward and launch your own business and presenting it to the world. And that Seven of Pentacles to the World card. Your finances are changing. So what I see on the horizon for the Sagittarius collective, a change in job, volunteering in respect to wanting to do something as a child that maybe now you feel is not practical to do or you don't have the certifications, but you're going to volunteer doing it on the side, like one day a week or a couple hours a month. It's going to spawn and turn into a job opportunity. And for others of you, there has been a long-held desire within you to launch your own business, like literally like to the world, could be even online or opening up your own, YouTube channel or something like that. I do see you doing it. And I do think all of those avenues create long-term financial success for you. I mean, the Nine of Pentacles is incredibly abundant energy in terms of being able to financially take care of yourself and not have to lean on a partner, whether you're single or partnered. It just feels really good to bring home your own paycheck and it's solid and it's stable and it's yours. And in that Nine of Pentacles, she's also, I say she's a woman on a card, you could be a masculine, but the person's also enjoying the fruits of their labor. So it's not just having money in the bank, it's being able to like buy your necessities without penny pinching. It's a very financially comfortable energy. I knew I was feeling that for you from the get-go. I want to know a little bit more about the Two of Cups because you seem to be up in your head about this connection. So I'm going to pull a couple of different cards for you. For those of you where you're in a connection, it's not tumultuous. There's been no betrayal. Okay, I just don't see it here. I think there's been some regret, and it could be you want to get married and they don't. They want to live together, you don't. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe there's some disagreements or arguments. This is not you cheated on me or you embezzled money from me. That's not the energy I'm feeling here. You love this person, they love you, but the emotions have been a little suppressed because we're at odds when it comes to moving the connection forward. There's still a desire, though, in that Knight of Wands to want to move the connection forward, but one of you seems to be more grounded, and the other one of you seems to be a little bit more resistant, maybe like a little bit of a commitment foe. But again, it's still someone who's engaging in that connection with you. I think there's a way that you can work through it. You may not be seeing it now, but I do think that there's a way for you to work forward with this person. What's behind the regret card? Courage. So you might have to have a little courage to have a conversation here with this person. So for my Sagittarians who are, I want to call it a steady, stable relationship, but there have been some minor, I feel like there are minor issues here. Anything else they need to know about this connection for 2026? I just saw the Hierophant. So that was the feeling I was getting there. I'm not going to take those. They fell face down. That was the feeling. They want to get married. You don't. You want to get married. They don't. There seems to be something like that here. But the love is deep and the love is true for both of you. It's just one of you wants a conventional relationship and the other one wants a little bit of an unconventional relationship. And I do think that you can move past it. Like, to be fair, I think there's a way here to bridge the gap between the two of you with that to be fair card, like holding, like I said, the scales of justice. One more shuffle here. Thank you. And we'll get you advice for all of this afterwards. Temperance, which again is balance, and Tower, and the High Priestess. Wow, bottom of the deck, Four of Pentacles. You may not see it now, but in the course of 2026, the two of you will be able, if you so desire, to come up with some type of balanced approach to this connection. Like maybe we live together, but we don't get married. There's something like that here. There is a compromise to be had in the connection when it comes to long-term commitment. And it's something that you're not seeing right now, but there is a way forward. Tell me more about bridging the gap here. Tell me more about bridging the gap here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Bridging the gap. We have the Eight of Cups, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Phoenix. Bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Swords. So I do think that there, again, I feel like somebody here wants the Eight of Pentacles and someone is a little absent when it comes to that. Like somebody wants to work on this relationship in a new direction and somebody's just not feeling it. That doesn't mean that they don't feel for you or that they don't love you. I think you're dealing with someone here who's a little bit of a commitment phobe. But there is a way, or there will be a way. The way will be shown this year on how the two of you can take this relationship and revitalize it with that Phoenix card. Yeah, Page of Wands. I think there's a conversation here that will take place. I want to get you timing for this. For my Sagittarians who are in this relationship, I see the potential there. but I can see you being very guarded. And you're showing up in king/queen energy, and they're showing up in knight or princess energy. Okay, princess energy. So that's what I mean. There's a little bit of an energetic mismatch, but the love is there, because at the core of them there is an equal matcher to you. Their king of cups to your queen of cups. Again, you can reverse genders. I don't read genders. Tell me more about the way forward for Sagittarius with this person. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Star, we have the King of Swords, and we have the Fool. Bottom of the deck, Justice. This might require a different way on how to do this relationship. Again, it might be we are not going to get married. And look, if you're really stuck on that and that's what you want and this person doesn't, then maybe this person isn't for you. But I feel like I'm speaking to a group of you. There is a way forward with this person. And for some of you, it might require like a third party intermediary to come in. Sometimes King of Swords to Justice could be like a wise counselor, a therapist. I don't really see it as a religious figure, but it could be for those of you where maybe you want to like turn to church or turn to your religion there, and they might provide some type of like couples counseling. I just feel like there's a path forward, but it might require someone else to kind of sit down and play coach/ referee here to get the two of you to like compromise on whatever this is. This is not a big issue in the scope of things. I just think that you're very guarded when it comes to it, because this is how you have envisioned this particular connection to move forward. And again, I don't feel like this person doesn't want that. I just think that they're seeing it differently. Now, for my Sagittarians, where this is a new person, you've left behind whomever this is, that toxic devil energy that we kept seeing, and this is a new person. Again, I feel like you're guarding your heart because of the new person, and your message here seems to be to just allow yourself to be a little bit vulnerable. Again, Page of Cups, just a little bit vulnerable. Tell me about the new person. Tell me about the new person. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The new person, the Lovers. Wow, it's a hell of a match. Lovers to the Two of Cups, Strength card, and the Eight of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have Four of Pentacles. I like this person. Could be a Gemini, could be a Leo. There's a lot of fire and passion here in this person. There's a lot of determination between both the Eight of Wands and the Strength card. What I notice here, one shows a tiger and one shows a lion. So I feel like, again, it's like I feel like the two of you are a perfect match. And I got that before with that King to the Queen of Cups. Now we have the Lovers card and you have the Two of Cups. This is someone, you're going to feel like you've always known them. I do think this is a past life soulmate for most of you. This is not the past person. You could be meeting them in Gemini or Leo season. This is someone who's structured, solid, Page of Wands. You could be meeting them while you're traveling, on vacation, a little getaway, attending an event. Tell me more about the new person. Tell me more about the new person. Queen of Pentacles. They fell face down, so we're not going to take them. Tell me more about this person. Thank you. We have the Ten of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. It's a hard worker. It's someone who they have put a lot of sweat equity into everything that they have. So this person is financially prosperous, but it's of their own doing. It's not like inheritance or generational wealth. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's not. But this person is self-made. Like they have forged their way forward in terms of making money. This is someone who's a nurturer. Tell me more about this person. One more shuffle. Thank you. And the Seven of Cups. Oh, I kind of like that. Bottom of the deck, we have Four of Wands. I think this person is a homeowner. I think they own their own home. I think they're very dedicated to their work. They could have a child. Again, I'm getting this feeling of the two of you are a match. I see that tiger to the lioness. I like this a lot. Like, I like this person. I think they're a little daydreamy. They're grounded. They work very hard. And they're self-made financially. I think they own their own home. Six of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. This is all new love. And then I have the King of Pentacles. This is your long-term partner coming in this year. King to the Queen of Pentacles. King to the Queen of Cups. This is really nice. This is someone who is very generous. This is someone who... This person might ask you to move in with them quite quickly. They might want to advance the connection forward. Why is that? Why am I getting that message? And I don't think it's that they want to move in with you. I think they would like you to move in with them. This feels like a protector kind of energy. Why does this person want Sagittarius to move in with them? Again, just take it slow, okay? Why does this person want Sagittarius to move in with them? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Ace of Cups. Oh my God, look at the love. The High Priestess. And again, that King of Pentacles. How many times did you just see me shuffle a card? Hierophant. This person's will intuitively feel that you are their person. There's something within them that is signaling them that you're their person, and you are quite the catch. I mean, you're showing up here in Emperor, Empress energy. This is something here of wanting to take you off the market, being very much in love with you. And again, this is not a moocher by any stretch of the imagination. It's not like they want to move in with you because they have no home. No, this person has their own home. They're structured, they're solid, they're financially stable. This is someone looking for a lifelong partner, and they see it in you. Just be mindful for most of you, look, for all of us, right? This person does have an ex. If you're worried about the ex, I wouldn't be worried about the ex. The ex has already moved on with someone else. Okay, the ex has already moved on. So I feel like for some of you, this is someone who's divorced. And I don't think you have to worry about the ex-wife, because we have the Eight of Cups, we have the Ace of Wands, and we have the Ten of Pentacles to the Three of Wands. So I feel like the ex is not an issue. And that was the message we got before when I said this person is single. So yeah, this person is single and they're looking for long-term committed partnership, and they see you as their ideal partner and mate. I like this. I almost want to become a Sagittarius. I mean, I love my person, but I'm just saying this looks really good. Any other messages that I want to get for you? I want to get you some cards on how you can, for those of you, leaving behind this person. So let's get into the advice deck right now. I'm going to pull a couple of different cards for you, okay? For those of you where you already left behind this, I think it's a person, but again, it could be a boss, friend, family member, lover. This is the year where you are just internally like processing the loss, and you're moving forward, and you're now on a new path that this person is not included. I don't think this person was fair to you, and I think you're moving on from them. I think you are creating something new in terms of like a new life that they're just not part of. Any advice here for Sagittarius when it comes to that? I'm going to call them a past person, because by the end of the year, they are officially a past person for you, okay? So for those of you moving on from this person, one more shuffle here. Thank you. I am being told to take that. We have the Queen of Wands, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, High Priestess. So, I mean, your advice, again, just focus on your long-term stability, your long-term finances, your long-term goals. Some of you are leaving this person because there was a third energy here that was involved in the connection. It's not for all of you. That's just for one of you. I think what you're realizing, or will be realizing this year, that this was just like a life cycle. Like I had to go through this. I had to endure this. I would not be the Queen of Wands today or King of Wands today had it not been for that experience. That's what I mean by like processing the loss. Yeah, if this person's in your past, I think they're staying in your past, because when it comes to them, you are still Nine of Pentacles, which is a very independent energy. So I think you're single, free, and independent from this person. It's probably someone that you walked away from in the past. But this year seems to be like the ability now to grow from it and to understand why you had to endure that entire situation. And for some of you, maybe it was cyclical. Like you stayed in that connection, again, expectations, right? Hoping that person would improve, and they never did. So if you've moved on from them, your advice here, to be quite honest, is to just keep moving. Like just keep moving. Be your beautiful, warmth, vibrant, determined, exuberant self. You're moving towards a more comfortable, happy, satisfied life. And I feel like it was destiny for you to leave that person behind. For my Sagittarians who are leaving someone behind this year, because again, that's for those of you where you've already excommunicated them or extracted yourself from them. But for my Sagittarians who are doing the extraction or the excommunication this year, what do they need to know? One more shuffle. Thank you. The Nine of Wands, see? And that card came out twice now. The Nine of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and there's that Queen of Cups, your beautiful heart of yours. Process the loss, okay? Don't be so quick to rush into the next relationship. You have someone here on your path this year. So if you're letting go of this person, use the time in between for growth, for inner growth, for work here. Nurture yourself. Be generous towards yourself. Be compassionate towards yourself. Forgive yourself. And continue to be courageous and resilient. Yeah, I see you walking away from this person. I think they were breadcrumbing you or not investing in you the way that they should have. And again, this could be a boss you're leaving behind. But again, don't be so guarded or defensive then, like when you enter the next job. So I think that's your only advice here, is to be compassionate towards yourself, give to yourself, be warm towards yourself, and know that you have the courage and persistence to do this. Like you can leave behind whomever, whatever this is, and move towards something better. And if this is work related for you, you have a hell of a better job here waiting for you. I'm not telling you to quit your job prematurely, but I am telling you to use your downtime to find another job, because one is coming in. You don't have to feel trapped in a job that you feel is not fair to you. So again, maybe for some of you, if that's work related, it's like, I'm in the here and now for now. But yeah, in that respect, please use your time. In that Six of Pentacles, you know, I know you have other responsibilities and you still are going to work because you need a paycheck. But there's something here about just use some extra time to find another job, because one does come in for you and then you're able to leave that job behind. And for those of you where it's a person, I think by Gemini or Cancer season, this person is out of your life. I do. Okay, for those of you where, let's get advice on love. For those of you where you are in a relationship, like I said, there hasn't been anything too deceptive here. A couple of disagreements. Any advice here for my Sagittarians in that type of connection? One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the World card, learning from those past lessons. The Strength card, the strength and courage to persevere. Ace of Pentacles, to have a new beginning. Bottom of the deck, Two of Cups. So in regards to that partnership, or maybe you haven't been happy, they haven't been happy, there is a way here for the two of you to be able to move forward from that heartbreak. I don't think this was a big deal. Again, I'm feeling like you wanted to move in together and they didn't, or vice versa. But I think there's a happy medium here, and there's a way to create a new opportunity in the relationship. That doesn't appear to be the relationship that you're tossing. So this maybe is a work connection that you're walking away from, and this is a love relationship that the two of you are growing, learning from that past experience, and moving forward together with a new beginning. And again, that regret card, the World card, it could be, again, just integrating the lessons of the past. Like maybe moving forward, you'll have better negotiation skills, or maybe even better like conflict resolution skills. Could have been something now that you or they learned from this past experience. But again, I don't feel like it was that huge of a disagreement between you and this person. For my Sagittarians who are single or will be single in 2026, they have this lovely new person on path for them. Lovely. Any advice for them for this new connection? Okay, thank you. We have the Two of Swords. Okay, we have the Death card. And we have the Ace of Swords. Oh my God. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Swords. Please do not sabotage this relationship. Don't close off your emotions. Sometimes the Two of Swords cards could talk about someone blocking off their emotions, shutting down, not wanting to be emotionally vulnerable. There's something here. I do think you're going to have a breakthrough moment. I think you're going to see that this person is quite the gem, but conversation will be key here, and communication will be key. And I think you're able, or should be able, to tell this person, I'm out of this relationship, or I'm still processing the ending. I do want to get to know you, but I'm going to take it slow. I think this person respects it. Okay. But please don't, yeah, look at that. Don't sabotage this relationship. A little bit of communication will transform it. And again, just telling them that you are interested in them, but you need to take it slow because you're still going through an ending, or going through a divorce, or processing an ending. And I remember when I was going through the divorce, that's when I met my person. And I told him, like, I just need to take it slow. I'm confident in the divorce. I'm not considering going back to him whatsoever, but I need to internally process that ending. Am I intrigued by you and I still want to get to know you? Absolutely. But if you're looking for someone to marry you tomorrow, it's not something that I can do. I want to find myself again. And he gave me the space and time to do that while still engaging with me and nurturing a connection. And I'd like to be able to say 5.5 years later that we're a pretty good match. So it could be something like that. Don't close off your emotions because what you're going through, or the ending that you're processing. Because some of you are like, you're exiting this, but then you're like meeting this person almost immediately. So yeah, I think a little communication there. This person will be very patient with you. Any other advice when it comes to the new love partnership here? I really like this person's energy. Anything else about this new partnership, new romantic partnership? One more shuffle. Thank you. Anything else you need to know? The Devil, the Emperor, and the Six of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Wands. I'm telling you, I think for a lot of you, you're meeting this person. And I'm not saying my ex was the devil, but it was a toxic marriage. Obviously, that's why I ended up ending it. I think a lot of you are meeting this person while you're exiting that connection. I think they're almost happening back to back. if that's the case, now I understand your resistance to want to emotionally open up because you're still dealing with the breakdown of that connection. Just go slow. I think for some of you, this person might actually help you. I'm not saying that they're going to help you get away from this person, but there is like, this is a solid person that you can lean on and rely on as well, especially for those of you who are meeting them on the heels. And that's what my person was to me, and that's what he said. I'm not going to pry, I'm not going to ask questions, but if you want to talk about what you're going through, I'm here for you. That seems to be the energy I'm getting off of this person. Okay, I think a lot of you, you're meeting this person while you're, yeah, you can't see it now. It's like while you're going through this difficult time, the 10 of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, leaving that person behind, and then here comes this structured and stable person. I really like this person. Anything else we need to know about this individual's energy? Anything else we need to know? I know I keep digging into them, but I'm digging their energy. So I'm excited for you. Anything else we need to know? One more shuffle. Thank you. Page of Swords, the 7 of Swords, and the Page of Cups. Yeah, again, I feel a very gentle approach. Be honest with them that you have an interest in them, but you want to take things slow. Remember that Page of Cups came up for you here also. Just like work with them and like let them know that. And I think this person's going to be okay with it. I think if you don't do that, you have a risk here of sabotaging the connection. But if you take it slow, oh my God, your 4 of Swords, if you take it slow, it's going to lead you right to the 10 of Cups. So just take it slow. That 2 of Pentacles, yeah, I can see you here because I'm telling you, a lot of you, you're going to meet this person while you're going through this ending. So just take it slow. Is this person your happily ever after? Most likely. Let me get you some advice here on career and finance. For those of you where there's something here that you've wanted to do for quite some time, you put it on the back burner. I saw the 3 of Wands. So again, I think if you, I don't know why I keep hearing volunteering, but for my Sagittarians where there's something they've always wanted to do and they decide to volunteer, there's like some new financial opportunity there. I remember having a friend that wanted to do this, and she ended up volunteering for a community group. She always wanted to get into music, and she just never broke through in the music industry, and it kind of was like a little dream within her. She kind of like packed up and put away and went into the corporate world. Fast forward years later, came out of a divorce and thought, you know what, good way to meet people is to join a community group. And so that's what she did. And she met someone there through the community group who was or owned their own preschool. And they said, you know, we would really like someone with your musical capabilities to come in and maybe provide some tutoring or like an extracurricular class. She ended up getting a whole new job. Did it take her into the music industry? It did. Is she like a pop star, you know, Taylor Swift making all this money? No, but she is helping to form and lead and teach the next generation of musicians. And that was a career path she did not see coming. And it all started from a divorce. Let me get out there and meet some new people via community group. And through that, like I said, through that connection, met someone who owns a preschool, and it set her off on another career path. It totally turned her life around. She's self-sufficient. She actually owns her own music store now in New Jersey. So it's nice to see where she took a loss and life just took her on a different path, and she's doing something she's always wanted to do. Is it exactly how she imagined it? No. But now when I talk to her, she says, this is even better. This is even better because I'm teaching now and showing the next generation about the importance of music. So I just feel like for those of you where you're doing that, I do think it opens up a financial opportunity you did not see coming. Can I get 3 cards for my Sagittarians to do that? One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the 3 of Cups. There it is. Again, with that community, the Tower, you don't see it coming in the Star card. Being able to fulfill your wish in a way that you would not have seen. And it's not, again, not exactly what you thought it would be, but it allows you to connect with people. Something here with volunteering or a community group, and allows you to fulfill this wish, dream, or desire that you've had in your heart for a long time that you kind of put on the back shelf because life took over. So I would look into volunteerism or, like I said, community groups when it comes to that dream in your heart. There is a path that takes you to fulfilling that dream. For my Sagittarians who are currently employed, I feel like I need to get a message for you. Currently employed, what do they need to know for 2026? I think you're changing your job this year, or most of you are. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the 8 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, and the 4 of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Wands. I think you have an opportunity here also this year, again, to take on, to learn something new in that 8 of Pentacles, or some kind of apprenticeship here, furthering your education, which will in turn then lead to financial success or financial stability or financial happiness. So I would look for ways this year, Sagittarius, to see if there's any like free classes or courses you could take within your community college, something like that. We have a outreach center in my town that a local church runs, and they provide some free classes. It could be something like that. I mean, and they allow anyone to sign up for them. You don't have to be affiliated with the church, but there's something like that. If you're able to do that, and like I said, learn something new, or maybe even go to school for some of you where you have the money or you have the ability to do that, some type of accreditation or classes or certification, I can see you changing your life or creating a secondary source of income here for yourself. And this could even be like you keep your 9-to-5 job, but maybe you get your realtor license. There could be something like that here at play. But it would be something new or learning something new. And it brings in the financial and emotional stability that you have wanted. I want to get cards for those of you where you either are your own business owner, like an entrepreneur, or that's something you're planning to do in 2026. Advice for the entrepreneurs watching, or the will-be entrepreneurs. I see the Two of Wands. So if that's something you wanted to do, or you currently are a business owner, this is a year where you can start planning to either restructure the products or services that you provide, or start contemplating what it is that you want to provide to the collective. I have the Temperance card, which is you. Tell me more about this. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Six of Cups, bottom of the deck, 10 of Swords. Okay, so I'm going to take this message right back to the beginning. If you're a Sagittarius and there's something you've been wanting to do since childhood and you put it on the back burner for some reason, and this is the year that you decide to create that plan to launch your own business, there's something here about like taking, I don't know how to say this to you, taking your past traumas, the past crises that you've gone through, or the betrayals, and using that in your next business platform. What does that mean? Let me sit on this for a second, Sag. There's something here about taking... Okay, so I have a twofold message. If this is something that, again, this dream that you've had since a child, you wanted to open up this business, or you've always wanted to do this, and you put it on the back burner, and you have something here come to an end this year, like a relationship or your job, that is your moment to start in this new creative endeavor here for yourself. I think it would be a good way for you to direct your energy from the loss, is to now start working on like building this new future business for yourself. That other message that I got, there's something here about you nurturing the collective, or you helping to heal the collective by sharing your story of past pain, troubles, the triumphs, the way that you overcame adversity in your life, or how you healed yourself from someone who maybe has backstabbed you or betrayed you. The Ten of Swords is astrologically speaking, it is the sun in Gemini. It's also the third decan of Gemini, so it could be communication. So like writing a book. Again, we go back to that feather, kind of like a quill, right? I was going to say an ink jar, I guess an ink jar, but there could be something like that for you. So if you have thought about writing or sharing your story or launching something online where you're going to use some past pain or trauma to heal the collective, or to inform the collective or educate the collective on how they can overcome this sadness or the grief or something like that, and you're sharing your wisdom, I think it ends up being, oh my God, a very profitable way for you to make money. Page of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. So if your idea here is to use pain or loss in your past to, like I said, write a book, or somehow it could be an audio book, your own YouTube channel, public speaking, there's a great way to make money. It's like turning pain into power. Anything else Sagittarius needs to know about turning this pain into power? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Knight of Cups, the Five of Wands, and Judgment. Yeah, bottom of the deck, Seven of Wands. I think this is a way for you to help heal the collective. So if you've been thinking about, again, creating some kind of medium or some kind of way for you to take all of those lessons from that Ten of Swords, and for some of you, maybe it goes back to childhood, like lessons that you've learned. I think there's a way here for you to, I almost want to say, like, you help heal the conflict or discord in the world, meaning you make an impact. You make an impact when it comes to bringing love into the world and helping people to heal their own inner struggles or inner trauma, and helping people to open up or soften their hearts once again. That's a huge message for someone watching. All right, let's close it out now with some oracle cards. So I like this for you. Moving on from situation, environment, or connection that was no longer serving your highest good. Processing the ending. Reconciling here with your partner for those of you where there have been some minor disagreements, and being able to find the path forward. For some of you, that includes a third-party intermediary, again, a counselor, a therapist, something like that. For others of you, you have a new person here on your path. This person is lovely. You might be very resistant because of what you've gone through in the past, but if you can communicate to this person, they will be exceptionally patient with you. This looks like a phenomenal match. This is someone who's looking for long-term committed partnership. Just please don't allow the past pain and hurt that this person caused you to sabotage the connection with this person. Money and finance looks like phenomenal for the Sagittarius collective. So something you want to do since childhood, please contemplate volunteering to do it some way, somehow, or associate yourself with some type of group or organization that dabbles in that or provides that. I think it opens up a secondary source of like revenue for you. For those of you currently in a job, there's a new skill here that you can learn. I would look at some new free courses or classes available online or in your community. I think it strengthens your financial stability. I also think it primes you to find another job that you'll be more happy with and will provide you with more money. For my Sagittarians who are currently business owners or entrepreneurs, there's something here about restructuring your business by introducing something that in the past you thought about doing, but you never did it for whatever reason. And again, maybe life got in the way, maybe you just got too nervous or you got cold feet. It's like this is the year for you to take that past idea you had and say, you know what, I'm going to reintroduce it now as a product or service. And again, I think you do exceptionally well. For others of you, there's something here about you wanting to become your own business owner or entrepreneur, especially when it comes to launching a business from something you've always wanted to do in the past. This is a phenomenal year to do that for you. And especially for those of you where this new business or this new venture includes or, encompasses you sharing your grief, sharing your loss, how you overcame burdens or heartache or betrayals. I don't know. I get the feeling here of I remember when I was saying sole provider, and I said it's not only SOLE provider, like you'll be making a lot of money yourself. It's also soul provider, like SOUL. Yeah, I think it's good for the soul, not just yours, but other people. There's something here about you sharing your story helps the collective, helps people deal with their internal struggles, and helps soften the hearts of the world. I mean, it's like a domino effect here that I'm seeing. So if you decide to do that, and that's your judgment call this year, I think a really good amount of money comes in for you. Yeah, I think it's financial and soul expansion for you. So please consider doing that this year. Let's close it off now with some oracle cards. One more shuffle. Thank you. Oh my, we went super long. I think yours is the longest reading. We have financial loss. We have take control. And we have ghosted. At the bottom of the deck, we have regain your balance. So a couple of different messages. I'm going to go through these quickly for you. Take control of your finances. If you can learn something new or volunteer somewhere else, again, doing something you've always wanted to do, I think it completely you're able to regain your financial balance here. For those of you where you are leaving this person behind, there's something here about you taking control of these feelings. You might have some remorse or regret. You might feel like you're ghosting them. But I think you needed to move on from this person. This was the only way for you to take control of your life and step into the role of the Empress. It's also the only way that you're going to meet this love partner, if this is a love partner that you've left behind. And I like this. When you're meeting this new person, inner healing, hidden emotions, and regain balance. Again, just express it as person that you are still healing yourself. Don't hide your emotions from this person. Be as balanced as you can in the connection. Take it slow. I think it's going to be really wonderful for you. Can I get a card there on the financial loss? One more shuffle. Thank you. The Moon card, bottom of the deck, the Chariot, the King of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, it's really good energy. If you're dealing with any type of financial issues right now at the time of this reading, what you can't see coming is success. What you can't see coming is victory over your financial loss. So if you're dealing with anything like that, the future is very bright for you financially speaking, like this year. I'm not talking like just 10 years from now, but this year. But again, join a community group or learn something new or start writing your story for the collective. I mean, you could end up writing something that ends up Oh, that's interesting. Why am I seeing this like a movie screen? Maybe you end up writing something about your life story that someone ends up someone ends up buying the rights or something like that and turns it into a movie or a made-for-TV movie. That's probably for one of you watching, but please consider doing that. But that is what I have for you, Sagittarius, for 2026. Huge year for you. So if you feel like right now you're stuck and you're not going anywhere, things are about to speed up and change literally within the next couple of weeks. That is what I have for you, my dear. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.